Hi, hello, and welcome back, everyone, to another episode of the Nincompoops podcast. It's Paul, along with my two friends here, Dean and Jim. Hello, boys. How you doing?
Hello.
Hello, I am friend.
He is a friend of mine that I know in real life. Go
You
to
know
his house occasionally.
we're doing something a little different this week. Instead of our usual webcam, we actually have no webcam today. I know it's never been done before, but this is just a little experiment we're trying out.
It's literally just the opposite of what we did for the past couple weeks. That was different from the usual, which is different from the unusual, which is now the usual. Look, I confused myself just there, but you guys,
Yeah,
you guys,
you
you
played
guys,
yourself.
I played myself. You guys get what I'm saying, though. Yeah,
But
no,
yeah,
I like to say we have a good reason why we're not doing webcams, but literally, I just didn't feel like it. I'm just like, I don't want to look presentable. I just kind of, I just kind of just want, I kind of just want to just like sit back, relax, pick my nose without worrying about like what the world has to see. You know, that's all I wanted.
yeah.
Yeah. But don't
Yeah,
worry,
that's
we'll go back to like webcams again in the future. It's just that this week I was like I just wasn't up for it. I just didn't care for it as much as not having a webcam. You know.
hmm
Mhm. Mhm. So boys, how's it been? It's been like a week. Well, not since like we last spoke, but since the last episode and all that.
Oh, yeah, what did happen? What did happen? I don't know. Like all these weeks are.
Anything new? Anything new going on with you guys?
Oh, we got our today we got our new garage door.
There's like a little static going on with you.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's very like slight. It's like ignorable, but it is there for some. It just popped up all of a sudden for some reason.
Oh, damn it.
Maybe like a loose cord or something. I don't know.
Yeah, it might be my mic cord again. I'm gonna lose uh real quick.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Yeah.
Hello.
I think it's gone.
there we go.
I think you're good.
Yeah, it was I think I need a new cable
Mm.
for
Uh,
my microphone.
Oof. Oof.
Yeah. But
This is like your headset mic or something, or
no. This is my microphone.
oh, okay.
But yeah, we got our garage door replaced.
Like the main like sliding door that like lets the cars in, or just like the door that leads into the garage.
The actual uh the actual thing.
The entire thing.
Yes.
Oh,
Well, what was the change?
that sounds expensive.
So before we got the house, we opted for windows, the top windows for the garage.
Oh yeah.
But they didn't have it because of like, supply and demand.
Mm-hmm.
And it finally arrived.
Oh yeah.
Did you guys do it yourself? Or did you guys like have the construction people do it?
The construction people did it for us.
That's probably
Oh,
like a
okay.
really safe bet because like apparently a lot of people die each year to like when fixing your own garage door of it like accidentally falling down on them and like killing them by crushing them to death.
Oh, damn.
So
Yeah, that's spooky. Yeah.
yeah, I didn't learn about this until like when I was like fixing my own garage door. Like it was like sometime last year, Jim. Remember when we were like watching the Democratic primary debates?
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, when it broke.
I
Yeah,
broke
yeah.
the garage door on accident because my mom was closing it, but I opened it at the same time because I was like, we need to rush, we need to hurry. So I opened up the garage door while driving in, broke that. So spent the next couple days trying to fix it, and I eventually did. But I learned like from another friend who I was asking for like can I see your garage door because he lives in the same neighborhood. Like see how yours work. He's like sorry friend, but he like warned me like yeah apparently a lot of people die each year to garage doors crushing them to death because it's like so freaking heavy
I
when
wonder
they
what,
like
what the number is, because I mean, it seems like I totally believe that people do, but
yeah.
yeah, I just wonder how much, because people can die from just like the simplest shit that you wouldn't think of in your day-to-day life. Like you could like slip on a soap bar in the
Mm-hmm.
shower and just
Mm-hmm.
die from that. So yeah,
Yeah, apparently the room with the
Crazy.
most amount of accidents in the house is like the kitchen for for obvious reasons. And I think the place where most people get into car accidents the most is like actually near their own homes, just because they're so used to the area. Just like, oh, I don't have to be as careful. So
Yeah, isn't it like the intersections of like near your houses?
I reckon so. Yeah. All right.
Yeah,
Let me
it's
look
why
it up.
it's why like if you live in a neighborhood where the driveway is like very big compared to if it's like really tight, the larger driveways are more prone to accidents because you're like, oh, I have so much space. There's no way I could fuck up, and then someone fucks up, either you or someone someone else,
Yeah,
and it happens a lot because of that. Yeah, and on like on the tighter driveways, there's a lot less room to maneuver. It's actually less likely. It's less likely for you to have an accident there.
That's good to know.
All
Yeah.
right. So I'm looking at a website literally called actiongaragedoor.com. So I don't know how reputable this is. But this is the first thing that popped up in Google. And so like garage door accidents are responsible for 20,000 to 30,000 injuries every year. And the garage door is one of the most dangerous parts of the household, and it is responsible for several dozen deaths each year. Most of the victims of these fatalities are small children. So
Wait, you said how many per year? 30,000?
20,000 to 30,000
Oh
injuries,
wow,
That's
and about
that's quite a bit.
several dozen deaths.
Is this limited to United States or is this just like worldwide?
Uh, I have no idea. I'm assuming from this blog looking thing, it's looks like U.S. It looks like U.S. houses and all that. So I assume it's in the
Oh,
U.S.
if it's in the U.S., that's pretty wild because like I think a similar amount of people like are died by gun violence by that like around that number as well. Like I think it's like 30,000 for gun violence in the United States. So like
Is that is
garage
that
doors
is
are.
that is that injuries or deaths? Because like it says injuries here for the
Oh,
20
okay. Injuries or deaths. I mean,
30,000.
still, like,
Yeah,
yeah, it's still pretty crazy to think about. Like, even though it's adding injuries, but it's still comparable to the deaths that you from gun violence, which is pretty crazy.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
indeed. So yeah, I
Yeah.
got lucky when I was working on my garage door. Actually, there was actually one point where uh because like I'm a novice when it comes to like home repairs and all that. I only did that just because like the alternative is like pay a specialist, but that's expensive. Let me see if I could do this my own first. You know,
Yeah.
the cheap alternative before you eventually give up and like fine, I give up. I'll pay the money, but fortunately I didn't have to pay the money. But I actually did almost like lose like a finger, like with the spring load
Oh no.
with on the garage door. Yeah, because like Dean, do you know at the when the garage door is closed and at the very top there's like this little metal thing that bends kind of
Yeah.
to let the garage door open.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I accidentally had that like loaded incorrectly. So it was like really tight, and I was like when I closed the garage door one day when Jim, Jeffrey and three of our other friends were at my house like just at the Kotatsu. I was like, "Huh. That looks a little weird. Let me like try to like fix this or something. Like, what's up?" But before I like put my hand up in there to like check it out, it legit just like collapsed on itself and just like slammed into the door. And I was like, "Yo, if I put my hand in there, that would like decapitated my fingers just then." And I remember I was like, "Oh shit!" I walked back into the living room, and I remember one of our friends asked like, "Hey, what's that noise?" I was like, "Don't worry about it."
Don't worry
Don't
about
worry
it.
about it.
I almost died. I almost
I
lost
almost-
my
I
finger,
al-
but
I almost
Yeah, no
lost my
big deal.
fingers,
No
but don't
worries.
worry about it.
Then you know what? We should just like not have garage doors, dude. If they're fucking up that many people, like yeah, I don't know. Like it sounds like more of an inconvenience than anything else.
I mean, it does the job. It's just that, the problem was that I actually broke it when I tried to, like, let ourselves in that one day for the debate. But,
Yeah.
yeah. It's the garage doors, in the end of the day, pretty dangerous. And more dangerous than you realize, so watch out for it.
Yeah, it's so weird.
If you got the money, I'd probably recommend just, like, pay a specialist to do it. Don't worry about it yourself.
No, I want to fix it.
It's a huge pain in the ass, especially with the chain up top. It's like a combination of like magnets and like sharp edges, like serrated edges, like on a chainsaw, kind of, and you're trying to like fingle with it. So you're trying to like work with magnets that have like that could honestly chop your fingers off at the same time. That like get stuck together and it's a pain in the ass. So yeah. That's why I said like good on you that you got the construction guys to do it.
Yeah.
That's my TED talk right there on garage doors.
Dude, the guy was like, "Yeah, this will be done in like 2.5 hours, at least." The guy finished it in like an hour and a half.
Nice.
I was like, "Damn, you work fast."
He knows what he's doing.
Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds about right. That sounds about right.
I was just so impressed.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if he does it for the entire like neighborhood, he's probably done it a couple times before.
Yeah.
Indeed.
He did. I think he did one before my house because he knocked on my door like 8:50.
Mm-hmm.
And like, hey, I'm here for the garage. And I'm like, all right. And then I opened the garage for him, but then he was like, oh, I have like another person. Like I have another house to do before your guys is actually. And then I was like, all right. And then he said he'll be back in an hour. And then he came back and he was just like, yep, all right, this will take him like 2.5. But I finished it in like an hour and a half. And I was like, damn, this guy knows his stuff.
So can I ask why you wanted like the garage door with the windows up top as opposed to just like it being closed? Is it just like personal preference or anything like that? Or is there any like advantages to it?
Like the windows?
Yeah, because my garage door is just closed. It's like there's no windows or anything like that.
I think it's like in daytime you can you can just use the sunlight instead of like turning on lights.
True. But is there even that much additional light being brought in? Because it's still pretty dark, I reckon.
It was pretty. It had a big difference.
Big difference?
Yeah. Until like it got like late afternoon. It's when it got like, all right, there's no point.
I mean, what's the point though if you have solar panels? Because the sun's going to power the light that you turn on in the garage anyway, right? It's like very minute whenever you do use it.
Oh, that's true. You guys do got solar panels. I forgot about that.
Yeah. It's not like it's going to use up a lot of power if you use the solar panel energy.
Yeah.
By turning on the lights.
We just got it for aesthetics. It looks really nice.
That's fair.
Yeah, it kind of does. It kind of does look nice from the outside.
Yeah.
But I think at the end of the day, I was like, if someone were to ask me, like, do you want it with windows or without windows? I'm like, I won't lose sleep over which one I get.
Yeah, we were just we were just like, if it comes, it comes. But like, if it doesn't,
yeah,
like there should be like a refund or something because we did pay for it.
Because because if they're like, hey, like if this comes at no additional cost to you, and you want to pick Windows or no Windows, I'd be like, fuck it, Windows. I guess there's no reason not to. And then it's like,
yeah, indeed.
If it's like, hey, we already installed like the window list. Do you want Windows now? Like, I wouldn't lose sleep over being like, oh no, like shit, yeah. It's just like it's already there. The garage door is already there. I don't care. Just leave it.
As long as like it's not fucking the.
If it's not me installing it, I don't give a fuck.
Yeah. But yeah, that was something today.
Yeah, nice. Do you guys often do like home repairs or like do it yourselves sort of things, or like if you have your own place, would you like be more like those stereotypical dads where you have like your own set in the garage, like, oh, there's something broken in the house, I'll fix it, I'll do it. Or are you
no,
like,
I am not that person.
I'll just pay someone to do it.
I would just pay someone to do it. I'm terrible with doing shit with my hands that I had no idea like what to like how to do it. If I'm gonna be like trying to unclog a sink, I'm just wasting my fucking time. I'd rather just pay someone else to do it because if I were to spend time doing it, I'd fuck it up like a million times. I would read the instructions, I'd be confused. Like I'm like, oh, I'm following this exactly. How am I still fucking up? Like that sort of thing. Like I'm terrible at that sort of thing. That's why like when I was doing crafts in high school, where it's like you make art with your hands. I was terrible at that. My hands are not precise or anything at all. And manual labor is yeah, it is escapes my understanding. Like when I was trying to install the bidet, like I had trouble removing the toilet seat lid to
Really?
install the bidet because, well, to be fair, I was limited by the amount of tools I had because I didn't have a toolbox. I only had like a few different types of screwdrivers. I was like, well, I hope this does the job, and it did not do the
It's
the
always
job.
the shitty part when you don't have
Sounds about right.
the tools and you're just like, all right, hammer, you're gonna unscrew this for me.
Yeah, so I had a lot of trouble trying to remove the seat lid, and then one of the things was like I didn't even know that there was like a clasp that holds your toilet seat down, and then I had trouble like finding
the
it.
bottom?
And then
Yeah.
no, like it's on the
Oh
top.
no, it's on the top. It's like the little cover thing. You gotta.
Yeah, and then
Oh,
once
I think it was
once
something
I
else.
found it, I had trouble removing that because I didn't have any tools. So I was like, fuck. Okay, I'll just try to move my fingernails, and it didn't work.
Yeah.
And then I figured it out, and then I was like, okay, now I have to screw it, but then the screw wasn't metal; it was like fucking
Plastic.
ceramic or some shit. So when I tried screwing it just like fucked up the screw hole, so I couldn't insert my screwdriver anymore, and I could only rotate it like 90 degrees before it gives out. And I'm like, okay, if it's not lefty loosey, then I'll just screw it the other way to loosen it. It didn't work either, and I was just like, I am big confused. What the fuck is this? And then
Sometimes those nuts are just really tight, man.
it's not even, it wasn't even like a normal screw. It was just some stupid ceramic shit. No, that's not even ceramic. It's like a plastic screw.
Yeah, it's a
And
plastic
then
screw.
and then I was like, fuck it, I'm not handling this. And then I asked the property manager where they just go to house, or maintenance, sorry, not property manager, the maintenance man around the property.
Yeah.
I asked him like, hey, can you help me with something? And then he came over, and then he took a look at the lid, and then he got his hammer, and he was like, okay, we don't have the tools. And he went back, got a hammer, and then his tools, and then he just like broke it and to get it off. I'm like, oh, I could have just done that the whole time. I was trying to manually remove it by being safe and cautious about fucking up the toilet, but he just got a fucking hammer, just went bang bang bang, and just
It broke the screw.
That's my
You
biggest
yeah.
worry too. Whenever I work with stuff, is I'm sure I could get this off, but I want to do this carefully and make sure I do it properly. Because it feels like the easy monkey brain way to do is just I'm gonna just break it and just take it off. But I'm always thinking like there has to be a simpler way. I'm just doing this wrong. I'm just being dumb.
I was just like, what if I just used raw gorilla strength and just pulled it with all my strength?
Yeah.
I just ripped it off. But I was like, nah, I'm no caveman. I must use my brain to solve this problem.
I must be delicate.
And I asked the
What
maintenance
are we
man
doing?
because
We
I'm
have
like,
technology.
the maintenance he's done this before. He's installed toilets before. He must know the way to take it off. And then he just comes in with a hammer and some other tools and just breaks it off. I'm like, oh, what the fuck? I was like, what the fuck? What the fuck is this? And then he broke off the toilet lid. He threw it away, and then I'm like, okay, well, at least I can handle the rest. And the rest of the bidet installation was easy.
Ah, there you go.
The hard part was the fucking toilet lid removal, but everything else was easy because it was just like, oh, okay, from now on you just put this in where the screws were, and then you just put in the seat. And I was like, okay, I can do that. But But generally, I am terrible with my hands. That's why I had when I was I mean, I'm sure you know, Paul, but when I was trying to learn how to march back in RTC as a freshman, I was terrible at it. So it took me a while to learn that shit too.
I mean, to be fair, your terribleness didn't really stand out because a lot of people were terrible, and then there's some people I just to this day it just baffled me. It was like, do you not know the difference between your left or your right? Like, how is this? We've been at this for weeks. How are you still not getting this? So it is. If you were terrible, I didn't notice.
I had more trouble than everyone else. I had trouble learning about face. I was just like, I've never done anything like this with my feet ever before. I don't play basketball. I don't know what a pivot is. I don't know how to do that. And so I had trouble doing that. And then so it took me a while to get it down. But once I got it down. But
got you.
when it comes to doing shit with the sink or fucking hammering shit, I'm like, nah, I don't know. I gotta gotta take my time with that shit.
Mm.
I would rather if I feel like it's gonna take up a lot of time, I would just hire somebody to do it.
You care not for those stereotypes. Like if you don't know how to fix your own home, you're not a real man.
Nah, fuck that. Okay, I'm a gender abolitionist. I don't give a fuck about the whole true man shit. All right, if I can't fix a sink, I can't fix a sink, and you know what? That just means I am incredibly self-reflective. Okay, I know what I can and can't do, and then unclogging a sink is one of those things I just can't do.
I'll leave it to someone who actually knows how to do it and actually enjoys it. And have him pay him to do it.
Yeah.
I care for the workers.
Yeah, it really depends what type of job it is. Like if it's something like I have to learn it somewhere and then go back and fucking try to do it and actually it's like trial and error, then it's like I might as well just get somebody to do this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like something like something I've already learned, like painting, then it's like okay, I'll do it.
Oh, sorry. It just reminded me of another thing. So I took an educational psychology class in up division in college,
Of course.
and just one thing I wanted to take it because I found it interesting. One of the things we had to do was that we each had to come up with a thing where we had to teach someone else how to do something. For me, I chose to explain the rules of chess because I was just like, all right, I know how to play chess. This should be easy. But then someone else had a project where they were supposed to teach us how to make a paracord bracelet, and I watched as everyone around me got it down. I can't even make like one knot. I'm just like, I don't understand. Like, how is this possible? I'm trying to follow exactly how to make a paracord bracelet, and I'm failing incredibly at it. And then the girl in front of me is like, "Oh, I got you. Like I'm gonna show you how to do it. So this is how you make the knot." And I watched her do it like 5 times. I'm just like, I still don't get it. How what the fuck? Mine looks like mine looks like a friendship bracelet.
You watch this and you're like, "Am I dumber than I really think I am?"
I mean, I knew I was gonna be like the best at it, but I was just like, I just was befuddled at how bad at it I was. I was just like, damn, can I just pay someone to do this? Like if I just paid someone to do this, I think I should be, I should be fine. And then everyone got to keep theirs after, but then mine wasn't even like half. It was like 1% done. The only 1% was just me picking out which colors I wanted to use, and then I was just like, okay, well, I'm gonna keep this in my backpack, and it'll never again see the light of day. And yeah,
Is it still stuck in your backpack?
Yeah, so I think it's still there, or maybe
Goddamn.
not. It's been a while. It's been like 2 years, I think.
2 years, hot damn.
Yeah, COVID, man. It's been around for a while.
That is true, but even like on a regular basis, sometimes I find stuff at the bottom of my backpack that I'm like, oh shit, I forgot this is here, and it's like all like kind of like gooey and weird, just because like for some reason at the bottom of the backpack is just like a weird cesspool of just like gross little bits and stuff, like eraser bits and all that, and you just pick it up and there's like kind of like mold growing, and you're like, what the fuck?
Yeah, I feel like when I was like designed like in character creation, they're like, okay, how do we distribute the points? And then they looked at all my stats and they're like, okay, we put more points into intelligence, like brain into the brain, and then when it comes to his hands, like just put like negative 20.
Dexterity -20.
Yeah, they just put all my dexterity points into intelligence. Then they're like, all right, he can think about things, but he cannot do things. Just they have this character exist, okay? Like he's just gonna exist, and good luck to him. Let's see how his walkthrough is gonna go, And yeah, it's not been great. The only thing I can do with my hands is like draw, okay, but that's about it.
For me, my negative stats would definitely be luck, as I've mentioned before in the past. Definitely luck. Yeah. That's fucking funny though. How about you, Dean? How's your I think you mentioned before, like it depends on like what stuff you would build or fix in your house, right?
Yeah.
Got you. As opposed to like you said painting.
Yeah.
I think I'm in the same boat as well. I think I'm a little bit more inclined or a little bit more curious. Like I want to be able to fix this myself, just from the simple fact like I don't have to pay someone to do this. I
Yeah,
can
I
just
would
do it on my
definitely
own.
try, but if it takes longer than like a
Mhm.
certain like amount of time,
It depends on the complexity for me.
yeah,
If it's like pretty simple, like all right, I could like do this. If it's like really complex, I'm like I'm not that curious to know how it works. I'll just like treat it like magic. I'm like, oh, it works. Or if it like involves like let's say like fixing like the bathtub, like I've had to do like multiple times in the past. Like if it involves like actually breaking a hole in my wall to like get to it, I'm like, nope, nope, nope.
yeah,
If
Yeah,
I
I'm not
do it,
comfortable with that. Yeah.
if I have to do that, I know it's gonna look ugly whenever I have to patch it up. I'm just gonna pay a professional to do it. But like anything like simple like that, like maybe if it's like uh fixing the sink or doing the toilet or like I in the past I'd probably like not add the garage, but like I've had like 3 days of experience trying to fix my garage. So I'm like, I could probably do that, but yeah, if it's like simple, I'll do it. But if it's like requires like me being actually stressed out and annoyed, I'm like, fuck this. I'm paying someone to do this for me. Yeah, I care not for like this. I don't know. Maybe it's just like our generation, or maybe we're just like not handy with
I
our
think
tools. But
I think it is partly that, but I think it's just biased against us because we live in a place where we don't really have to rely on ourselves. Like I would imagine like a rural area where you're like out in like a farm or some shit with your
yeah,
family,
yeah.
you would have to like adapt to being more handy with
Hmm.
that sort of stuff. But with us, in our cushy
We're in the tech
parents,
area.
yeah, we with our pushy parent homes and in the area we live in, we can get someone to do the stuff for us, or we make enough money to do stuff for us, or we're like comfortable with not having to do that sort of thing. Yeah, because we don't really have to.
Yeah.
But when it does happen, we're like, help, help. Yeah, but yeah,
It makes me worried. Like if like let's say there's like a zombie apocalypse, for example, and we're just like, all right, time to be like creative, smart, and know how to fix stuff. Like we'd be fucked. We'd
oh
die.
no, yeah, I am a character that dies within the first 5 seconds of that movie. Yeah.
Hmm. Yeah, barring from the fact that like when people say like I'm gonna be a survivor, where like 99% of the world's population is turned into zombies. Like, chances are you're probably a zombie. Barring from that fact, if like the off chance you do stay as a normal human survivor, you're probably like screwed when it comes to like actually fixing stuff or like building defenses around the perimeter and all that.
yeah,
Yeah, I mean, this just goes to us in general. I mean, there's exceptions, of course. Like I think Ron would be an exception that he has a better chance of surviving because he was literally in the Marine Corps and he was put in situations where he had to like, yeah, he had to use some level like, okay, I need to rely on myself to survive this certain situation or at least handle it better. Whereas with us, at least with me, I've been in a cushy suburban neighborhood for all of my life basically, and
Hmm.
yeah, I've never been put in a situation where I'm like, okay, how do I give first aid and use a tourniquet and shit, like how do I know which things to fucking do to stay warm or gather food or rather the fuck or hunt. Well, I've never had experience doing that.
Or like
Yeah.
being creative like with other tools to like as unorthodox ways to like accomplish stuff. Like I think one thing you could do if you're like trying to make a fire, for example, is like if you don't have any like fire making tools, is like let's say like using a battery, for example, and just like cutting it up a certain way so you could just get whatever's inside the battery to like help make a fire, for example.
yeah.
See, I didn't even think of that. I used my Neanderthal brain. I was like, get stick, rub stick together, big spark, fire. You like?
Yeah, yeah,
That's
exactly.
what I was thinking. So yeah, I died pretty easily.
I mean, you even said yourself like you don't go camping a whole lot, or you're not a fan of even the idea of camping, right?
No, well, someone asked me if I was like into nature, and I was just like, nope.
Nope.
I cannot synthesize with nature at all. Yeah.
Well, what's about the climate change?
Well, that's gonna suck to be me in a couple decades.
Yeah, I think we talked about like wanting to go like camping at some point before,
Yeah,
like earlier
we did.
episodes.
We did.
I think we talked about like, oh, you know what, the whole world shut down. We're in the pandemic. It was perfect time to go camping or something. We just never did it.
You know what would happen? We would all go camping, and I'll be doing my thing, eating the food that we prepared, and then shitting in the woods or some shit. You guys would be like, "Hey, you doing okay?" I'd be like, I would lie, be like, "Yeah, no, I'm doing all right." And, I kind of miss shitting in the bidet, but it's all right. But then in my mind, I'd be like, "Why the fuck did I do this? Why didn't I just say no? Why didn't I just pretend that I had something else to do, or I just didn't want to? So I should have just stayed home. Why the fuck did I agree to this?" I think that's probably what would happen. But
You're really not a nature man, eh?
no, all right. I have a bidet now. My shits have to be optimized in the most optimal way.
You only got the bidet like last week too.
Yeah, and I cannot go back to shitting like a fucking peasant. Okay, I was at work this weekend and I had to take a shit like early on during my shift. The toilet paper was not only shit because it was sandpaper. It was like sandpaper toilet paper, so
Yeah.
it was grating against my ass. And then the fact that I had nothing else to wash it off with, I was just I was like, yeah, this is a unfulfilling experience. This is a shit that was wasted in this hellhole when I could have been shitting at home.
Yeah, that was the thing. When we came back from Japan, I was like, oh man, I can't poop the same. I need like a bidet. I need like some water to shoot up my butthole to clean it. But after like a couple months or like a year, I'm like, all right. I kind of got. Actually, no, that's a lie. I think whenever I did take a poo, I just went upstairs and just after I was done, I just used hopped in the shower and just used a shower head.
Yeah.
That's a lie. That's a lie. But I think for like other bits, like when I was like out in public or I had no other choice, I'm like, all right, I kind of got used to like doing toilet paper again. I was like, I knew in the back of my mind like this is not optimal. This is not the way to do it. All right, we live in a society. But eventually I got used to it. But then once I got like an actual bidet again, I'm like using on a regular basis. I'm like, I've kind of like ruined pooping for myself forever. I dread whenever I had to go to OCS. I'm like, oh, I'm definitely not going to have access to luxury bidets out here.
Yep.
Yeah, let's get one shipped in and install it without anyone knowing.
But there's no
um,
way. There's no way I would get away with that.
Yeah, I know. But yeah, it's just like one of those. It's just a luxury. It's just like, oh, like instead of that's actually a shower head you can use, but it's not like instant because to do that you need to like go into the shower.
You need to take off your pants. You're like, if you want to be like not want to get your shirt wet, you probably
Yeah,
take it off,
it's just more. It's inconvenient. Like if you want to ask them, it's one way, but yeah,
it's a whole process.
Whereas with a bidet, it's just right there. But without a bidet, like I just hate it whenever you like this happens to me every now and then, where you would get like 3 sheets of toilet paper and wipe your ass, and then on like the third one is like, okay, there's obviously nothing left. I've gotten everything. There's no way I missed a spot. And then a couple hours later, you just feel that itch. You're like, oh my god, I missed a spot. How is that possible? I was so thorough. And then yeah, I don't know, it just sucks.
I agree.
How's the rest of your family been warming up to the bidet, Jim?
I don't think my mom's used that at all. I don't think she knows how to use it, or she just doesn't care for it. I don't know. But my brother says it was weird for him at first to have water go up his asshole, or at least, or brush his asshole at least, and then but he says he's gotten used to it. It's like it doesn't feel weird to him anymore.
Does he like it? Can he do without it or no?
I don't know if he likes it, but he can live with it. He can live without it better than I can. Like he can go back because he doesn't stay here like 7 days a week. So
But that's weird.
But yeah.
That's weird. You think more people? I had the assumption that like once like you got used to using the bidet, you're like you couldn't go back. But I don't know why was it like so easy for us to get like prophesized into like the church of the bidet? You wonder.
Probably,
I was already used to it.
You're already used to it.
I think for the two of us, I think it was the fact that we were in Japan. So like the feeling from the trip kind of got attached to the bidet itself as well. So when we use a bidet, we're like, "Fuck, this is just like how this is how I was when I was in Japan. When I was like doing a lot of shit and I made a lot of fucking memories and did all cool shit."
Civilized country works.
Yeah, we were like, "Oh man, like this is cool." Whereas with my brother, his first experience with it is here, where it's like the only difference between a bidet and not having a bidet is just like, "Oh, okay, now we have a bidet." Like the environment's still the same and everything.
You reckon like if we're like us, if our first experience was a bidet was just here, we'd just be like, that's cool.
I think yeah,
That's not my thing.
I'd be like, oh, okay, this is pretty neat. This is cool. And then, but then we wouldn't be like, yeah, I get one for myself, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think I did see a bidet actually for the first time, not in Japan, but actually one time we went to it was either a Korean barbecue or a Japanese barbecue, and one of the bathrooms had a bidet.
Was it like a
But
French bidet or like the?
no, the Japanese kind.
Oh, okay.
It even had like Japanese letters and everything. But I was like, I don't know how to use this. I didn't use it. But it was like the first time I saw it, and then I think I just took a piss. So I didn't actually use it for pooing or anything like that. So I wouldn't know. But even if I did, I probably would just like, I'll just do it. I'll just wipe normally because I don't know how to use this. Plus, I'm in public, you know.
Yeah.
So probably, had I like tried to use it there, maybe I'm like, oh, that's a thing. So I'd probably be just as lukewarm about it too, that I used to hear.
Yeah. But yeah, I don't know. Since we went to the trip and all, it is part of our like. It's ingrained in us. Like, yeah, this just is how civilized people shit. This is how we do it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I know it's the same in my family because my family uses the bidet, but I'm the only hardcore pro bidet in the family.
We're just based and bidet pilled, you know.
I
Some
know.
people are just they're a few centuries behind. You know, just we gotta get up in time.
Indeed. Uh,
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure there's plenty of things that that we do that other countries have not caught up on. You know, so you know, I'm sure there's some things. Maybe not because we still wear shoes inside the house as a culture, but one day we'll catch up.
I don't know how big of a culture that is. At least like these days, or at least
For white people, it is for sure. Yeah.
'cause I don't know. I mean, definitely it was when I went to go visit friends in Idaho. That was definitely a regular thing, and I couldn't stand it. But I don't know. I hear like it isn't just anecdotal. It's just like from comments I've seen like on YouTube or like other social media websites where people say like, "Yeah, no, I'm white, and we take the shoes off at the before getting to the house. Like if you bring shoes in, that's weird." And whenever the topic does pop up, and then sometimes you get the people like, yeah, we wear shoes, but that's because like the floor is already dirty, so we're just like, whatever. So like but like the reason why your floors are dirty is because you wear shoes in the house. That's why. So I don't know. Maybe it was like more prevalent in the past, or maybe just like
it's definitely still a pretty big thing. I think we're just caught up in our own bubble. Like there's some variances out there every now and then across the country where some people are not wearing shoes inside the house, but still like still a thing people do.
Definitely. I'm just not sure what the numbers are.
Yeah.
Or if they're as high as they were in the past.
I think if people want to wear shoes inside the house, they should just have indoor shoes like slippers. There's slippers that will go on you like shoes are, and then
I've heard people use that as a compromise for when people like, no, I have to wear shoes inside the house, and their spouse is like, no, you're taking those off because you're going to bring in dirt and mud and dirt and all that, and they're like, all right, fine.
And I think Japan takes that to a higher level, right? Because Japan, like you wear slippers inside the campus or some shit.
Yes, that's also in some houses where they'll give you house slippers inside their house.
I mean, they gave that to us while we were at the Airbnbs and the one hotel we were at. Were like slippers.
Yes.
Which I personally didn't wear just because like it felt uncomfortable for me. They felt kind of.
Yeah, for their typical American guests, they're like, well, we gotta provide them slippers. We don't want to wear shoes inside the house, But we're from Asian backgrounds. So we're like, what the fuck, shoes inside the house? Blasphemy.
I wasn't sure if that was just like a Japanese thing. People like, oh well, obviously we wear slippers, or just like for Westerners. I just opted not to wear it just because it did not feel comfortable for me. I tried like once, but I was like, nope, nah. These feel like.
I mean, some of the slippers were shit though. To be fair,
they were shit, and it's not like even like built for like the left foot or the right foot. Yeah, like, how like shoes are, but it felt like too neutral It's just like if you're for some reason you have like robot feet and you just go straight forward and there's not like a little curve on the sides. It wasn't built that way, like how actual feet are. You get what I'm saying?
Uh, sorry, I spaced out.
I was like, I was like getting nervous. Like, wait. I'm not fucking weird here. Like, how like your feet naturally has like a little bit of curve, like like just
Oh yeah,
there's
yeah,
like
the
a
arch.
like
Yeah,
the arch, like left shoes, right shoes, and all that. It's different. They're two different things. But like the slippers they gave us in Japan, was just like had none of those like curves on the side. It's just like goes straight forward, and it's just like no, it feels like tight on my feet. It feels like tight on one side, but like loose on the other, and like I hated it. The
yeah,
slippers
yeah.
they gave us.
Interesting enough, apparently, I mean, speaking of feet, apparently, our feet are like evolving to be more and more flat because of shoes.
Oh,
Um,
flat foot, yeah.
yeah, the arch thing, like we still have it, but it is becoming less and less frequent as we are wearing more and more shoes. The same thing happened with hair, like body hair. Like we used to have more body hair, but like as time went by, with us wearing clothes throughout the years, we've adapted to grow less and less body hair because all the clothes we wear.
Yeah, that makes sense. That one makes sense.
Yeah, which is
I
cool,
remember
man.
I remember I had like a huge issue with like having like flat foot back in like middle school and high school, especially when I tried to do sports because I heard apparently having flat feet was a bad thing. I didn't know why. It's like, oh,
Yeah.
you have flat feet and that's bad. I'm like, oh,
It's bad if you're barefoot,
okay.
but like you're not barefoot very often anymore, except when you're inside your own house. You know.
Yeah. But even because I got running shoes back during the summer, and these like very expensive running shoes that were like legit catered specifically for my feet, and that's why it's like so expensive. So they're like, yeah, we made it so like there's a little bit of arch now. So like whenever you go running, it'll naturally over time, once you wear these shoes more and more often, like it will get rid of your like flat foot. I'm like, cool, that's awesome. And I remember searching up why. It's more advantageous to have like an arch to your feet as opposed to like flat feet. But I forgot what it was. But I
I would
think
probably soon more grip, more like traction and shit. I would imagine.
probably.
Because like if you're flat foot trying to climb something, it can be hard for your foot to stick on something when it's flat.
Oh yeah, definitely when it comes to like climbing, because I remember whenever I did like did the rock climbing walls when I was younger, it's like I heard a tip. It's like better to push up with your leg strength as opposed to like using your arms and your grip to like pull yourself up because obviously your legs have far more muscle than your arms do.
Yeah.
Yep. And like, if you have like a lot more curved toes, better like toe grip strength, then it's easier to pick yourself up that way. I remember watching like a rock climbing anime. I think like was that last
Rock
year?
climbing anime.
There was a rock climbing anime. I think it was like last year. It was like a summer anime. Dean, do you know what I'm talking about?
Yes. I don't
Yeah,
know the title.
Yeah, I don't remember the title either. I remember I watched like a couple episodes and then I eventually just stopped then. But there was a rock climbing anime, and it was like rock climbing with like cute anime girls. It was great. But then I eventually just dropped it because the plot didn't really didn't really hold on to me that much. But I was like, man,
I mean,
when I did watch it though, I'm like,
that
man,
is
I kind
sports
of
anime.
It is sports anime. Cute anime girls doing cool things. Makes you really want to do things. I wanted to go like rock climbing again because I hadn't done it in years.
Yeah, it's big. Rock climbing, another thing I can't do with my hands. I tried rock climbing once. I was terrible at it.
Really?
Yeah, because I mean, with rock climbing, I would imagine you're able to see like what you're about to do next, and I'm just like, I just look at the upcoming grips I'm supposed to grip, and I'm just like, I don't get it. I don't get it. I'm just going up. Like I don't know what the fuck I'm supposed to do, and then I got to a point where I looked at all the rocks around me, and I'm just like, well, I guess this is it. And then yeah, I was just like, I can't go up anymore. And then I just like, fuck it, I just jumped off.
Mm.
But it looks, I mean, it was kind of fun, I guess. But I don't know, not something I'm very good at.
Yeah, it is a lot of fun. It's just like frustrating once you get to a point where like I don't know where to go because all these rock around me suck. and my grip's not strong enough to like.
Yeah, I
hold
think the
on.
point is like you're not supposed to get there in the first place, but I got there in the first place, so I was like, well, shit.
If that anime taught me anything, is that like there is a path that you need to figure out, and there are some places where you just get trapped. But
Yeah,
you're
like
but
I
you're
guess it's kind of like chess in a way, you know? It's just
yeah,
like
you have to like
you
pre-plan
can't
it.
just go one turn at a time. You have to see a few moves ahead to where you want to go. But which I can do in chess because I'm really good at chess. When it comes to like rock climbing, I'm just like I am big confused. What where am I? What am I supposed to do? And I just go up and see where I go from there, and then I'm not going anywhere. And I'm like, okay, that's it for me.
I just look at big meaty grip rock, go for that, and that seems to work out for me just fine because I'm usually able to climb to the top pretty quick.
Yeah, that's why rock climbing, like real rocks, that's something I'm definitely not fucking doing. Especially with not without a fucking harness. You know, like
Yeah, no, definitely not me. I'm like, no, I'm not that crazy.
yeah, like actual rock climbers, they see like a 18-foot ledge or a climb, they're like easy, and I look at that, I'm like, you guys have fun. I'm gonna go to the 7-Eleven, pick up a Slurpee or something. You guys knock yourselves out. Yeah. That shit that ain't for me. If it's a harness, I will consider it trying it out, but I would probably prefer like the in the gym sort of thing with the colorful rocks because you know at least with the colorful rocks I'm like ooh blue red you know like,
Indeed.
yeah
I've seen people do like in those like games or like movies where people are like doing parkour or like climbing up really high, and you're like, oh, there's the next ledge, but it's like really high up, and there's like no conceivable way you're able to like reach for it. They're sort of like, all right, I'm gonna just like push up with all of my strength and just like jump up to it, and I'm just like, how? How do you do that? That's crazy. That's like too much. Like how much strength do you have to be able to do that? Because it looks cool, but at the same time, like that looks like so easy to fuck up,
yeah
But people do it, and it's like it's wild. Like, I
yeah.
want
Yeah.
to do it, but I don't want to do it that hard.
That's why I have a lot of respect for stuntmen in movies because they're like the most like underappreciated workers because all the cool shit you see in action movies they do all of it for real at least to a certain extent and you know and that shit's dangerous but you know they train their bodies and that shit just to do those sort of things.
Mm-hmm.
It's pretty wild. It's like Jackie Chan who I'm sure has a lot of problems with the things I've heard but when it comes to like his movies he was always do the stunts himself and it was always cool to hear that sort of thing because they just do crazy things like jump off ledges and buildings and I mean they always like have like a break something to break their fall but still just yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, Jackie Chan had like a lot of injuries for his stunts.
Yeah, I forgot which movie it was, but I think in one movie he would like break. I think he broke his arm or his leg. I forget. And then but he still had to work through the pain, like doing stunts and shit. And I thought that was fucking crazy.
That is wild.
Yeah,
I would never. I would not. I would be a little bitch. I'm like, nope, this hurts. I can't do it. Like I had
Yeah.
like a neck injury like 2 weeks ago. I'm like, I can't even like. I was like fighting for my life just to get out of bed. Like I couldn't do it.
yeah. I've
This
never
man-
broken anything, but I remember pulling my back, and then I'm just like, damn. Imagine if I was told to work through that. I'm like, nah, I can't do it. You someone else do it. I'm staying home. You know, like. But then, but even then, like it's not the same as breaking an arm or leg, but still, like
Mhm.
someone working through the pain of breaking something, it's just wild to me.
That is superhuman like strength, or mental strength right there.
Yeah.
That I can only aspire to have one day.
One of my friends he broke his toe recently, and also his collarbone
Oof.
because he got into a motorcycle accident.
Oof.
And he was only able to take a week off before he had to go back to work because he couldn't pay his bills otherwise. And I was just like, damn, like I can do that because I'm living comfortably, but in comparison, because he lives by himself, and so I don't have to worry about the same things to pay for and everything. And yeah, I just can't imagine that, like not having the luxury of fucking staying home when you broke your collarbone and your toe.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and like, he fucked up his arm too. It wasn't broken, I don't think, but yeah, his arm got fucked up too. I was just like, oh,
Oof.
like yeah, That shit sucks. Like, props to him for working through it, but yeah, he shouldn't have to work through that. That's insane.
Yeah, I mean that's kind of like a forced thing that, like, we're gonna dive into politics real quick. That's just the whole, this is how
Like,
the system works in the U.S. and just
the
in general.
coercive nature of work. Yeah.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, yeah. But you guys and y'all just already know our opinions on that, so we're not gonna delve too deep in that. But yeah, that sucks. Sucks.
I mean, to be fair, though, we haven't had like a political episode, or even like a small topic we haven't an episode in a while. I don't think.
Oh, definitely not. Definitely not.
I feel like it's been a while.
We've definitely laid off on the politics a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, look, it's the Nincompoops podcast. Usually the name implies like we're just talking about dumb shit. We get to like serious topics like.
You say dumb shit, but we talk about bidets. Okay, like that's not dumb shit.
Yeah, that is.
That's
peak-
the smart
That's the
shit.
opposite. That's the opposite of dumb shit. That is smart shit right there.
Yeah.
All right, and everyone should get it. All right, it should be bidets for everyone.
Yeah.
All right, we live in a society. This isn't acceptable.
Being able to afford bidet but not getting one can be me.
Couldn't be us, man.
You know, it's funny. Like the three of us are still on the podcast regularly. We're the only ones with bidets in the group.
Yeah.
That is true. I mean,
We could name our we named the podcast the Bidet Bros or some shit. You know.
Bidet bros. Sponsor us.
You know,
Bidet people.
that works.
Sponsor us.
that works. It has like the two B's back to back. I forgot what that
Alliteration.
alliteration. There we go.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. It has that alliteration right there. So it works. It sounds
To be
good.
fair to Jeffrey though, he did get a bidet. It just didn't work out.
Yeah.
Yeah, and to also doubly be fair, you only got yours like a week and a half ago, 2 weeks ago.
That was not my choice. It was my mom. Not originally, she wasn't okay with it because she thought I was buying like a brand new toilet, and she just then didn't understand that it was just a seat I needed to install. But
Yeah.
yeah, but in the end, I got it, and that's all that matters.
Nice.
Gotcha. I legit just woke up one day and I'm like, I want a bidet. I'm tired of this peasant toilet paper. I want a seat for a king, and I just bought it one day. And my mom thought it was crazy.
Oh yeah, I'm glad. By the way, I made the choice to finance it across 5 months instead of buying it up front.
Oh,
Because
yeah.
holy shit, like
That's
the original
fine.
price was a lot, but
It is
I
a
had
lot.
but I had to take my cats to the vet last week, and then since I have two, I had to
Oh yeah.
I didn't get billed for both, and it added up to like $440. And
Oof.
so if I bought the bidet at the same time, I've been out like $700 in just 1 week. I've been bad.
That would have been yeah.
Yeah, I've been so much. But yeah, thankfully I financed it. But yeah, holy fuck, owning a pet's so fucking expensive.
Yeah. I think I had the same option as well to like either finance it over like a longer period of time or buy it up front. And I think I just bought it up front just 'cause I'm like, fuck it. I have this much confidence in this product that I'm getting, and like, it's like near the beginning of the pandemic, so I'm like, I won't be here that long. I'll be making money again pretty soon. So I just did it, and you know what? It worked out.
You've had yours for like a year and a half or so, right? I forgot. When did you get it?
I want to say a year. When did I message my one friend about it? Let me check.
I know Dean's only had his for I think was
Mine
when did he
was,
move in? 2 months ago, right?
3 now? 3?
3 now.
Yeah.
I got it in August of 2020. So
So it's been a year.
a little over a year.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
You've been shitting good.
I have been shitting good. I come down each day, happy as a bean. And since the weather has been getting colder,
Oh,
time to up the temperature on the seat.
Yeah.
And
this
was
is something
great.
that no one can relate to in the fucking audience. Is that I'm excited to use the seat warmer. I'm like, all right, okay, Cole, I'm ready. I'm ready to bust it out one of these days. You know.
Mhm. Have you not used it? Have you not used it yet?
I haven't used it yet because it hasn't been that cold.
Really?
Like, it's been cold, but like it hasn't made me feel like I needed to use the seat warmer.
Oh, it's cold
I-
here where I'm at, so.
I had the default seat warmer setting on like 1, even like during the summer. Only like a few times where I thought about like turning it off. I'm like, it's meh. But once I turn it off, I'm like, I see my butt's just not as happy. So I just turn it on, even though it's like warm already outside during the summer. But now that it's like during the winter season, or if it's, I'm pretty sure it's not winter yet. But now I have like the seat setting heat warmer on too. I'm like, I sit down, wait for it to like warm up a bit. And I'm like, hell yeah, this is great. Cause it gets warm within like a couple seconds and it feels great. I love it.
Does your thing have a water warmer too? Because mine has it, and I used it. I was like, oh damn, this is nice. It's cold right now, so my ass is kind of bare.
It's the best.
I have a water warmer too. Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's just pretty nice too.
It's the best.
I think either I have like the water temperature on low, or I just have it turned off. Because for some reason it feels weird for me when I have the water be like warm or hot. It feels like either I want to say like it either tickles or it just feels incredibly weird for me. And I've only used it like a handful of times, and once I like used it to experiment, like nope. It's cold water for me. I can't do warm water. It just feels.
I still
can't
prefer
handle it.
cold, but when it was like cold as fuck, I'm like, yeah, I just want warmth.
I've been using the warm water. It's really nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it just tickles me too much, so I just stick with cold water. Cause I want to be able to
I
like.
do
All
prefer
right.
the cold water though, because I just feels more refreshing. Yeah. But yeah, there's just the temperature. Imagine in a place where it's like actually cold, not just like bitch ass, pussy ass California cold. Like I'm pretty sure the warmer is like even better.
Mm.
Yeah.
Like I don't have an issue with like how sometimes like during the winter and you just wake up in the middle of the night and you're like, all right, I need to go use the restroom. I need to either like sit down on the toilet seat, and it's like really cold, especially during the winter. Like I don't have that issue anymore, even on my bidet, even without, let's say for example, without the heater, because like it's not ceramic, it's like plastic, so it doesn't feel as cold when I sit down. And if I were like younger, that'd been amazing. That'd be great. But as I got older, like for some reason, like whenever I get out of bed, like my body's like really fucking warm. So when I sit down on a cold toilet seat, it feels nice. But like, if like cold toilets are like a bane of your existence, like even without the seat warmer is like pretty great because plastic. I don't know how it is for you guys though. I assume it's also plastic as well.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
so. Yeah.
Yeah. Because I'm pretty sure Jeans is because I used it a couple
I
times.
mean, I have the same thing he has, except probably a newer model, as I think he said before.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, same thing with him. By the way, if anyone in the audience wants the same bidet that me and Dean have, you can't have it because my butt prints are on it. But if you want the same model, if you want the same model, then we got the Toto something SW 548 green 6242. I don't know, whatever it is, but it's like a Toto bidet.
Those are numbers.
They're the actual numbers. And Paul's is like, was it Swanson or Bronson?
It's Brondell, yeah.
Brondell,
That's the one.
yeah.
That's the one I got. I got it as a recommendation off of someone who also had theirs for about a year, and asked like, "Is it good?" And they're like, "Yeah, it's good." I'm like, "Awesome, I'm gonna get that." So.
How much was yours? I think mine in total was like 340, 350 or something.
I want to say it's probably around like $3.99 was what I got it for.
Oh shit! You pay a little extra.
Yeah.
I paid a little bit extra,
Yeah,
but I think that was like the average price though. Like,
But you can finance it though, right? Like you said before, so like you're not paying that upfront. You just space it out across. For me, it's across
yes,
5 months.
I had that option to like pay it off multiple months. I had that option.
Yeah, so if you want one yourself, if you could shelve like $70 a month or so, or $80 depending on how many months they're spread it out, you can get one yourself.
Yeah, I think mine was like a Brondell
Installation
400
should not be that hard unless it's like the hellhole of the toilet head that I had to remove. Then it's like,
dude, mine was fucking difficult.
Mine was pretty simple. It took mine.
The toilet lid that you had to remove.
Yeah, the toilet seat itself. It took me like a minute to take off. It was like pretty easy to do.
Not for me. We had this weird fucking toilet. We had the weird toilet seat where you had to like really pry out the thing that Jim was talking about.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Little caps, yeah.
Yeah, the little caps. Yeah, that thing was really hard, and I was just like, holy shit.
It's harder than I thought it was gonna. I thought it was just gonna be like a simple ass cap, like okay, just flick it with your fingernail or something. No, it was like
Yeah, it was
deep in there.
Yeah, mine was
Yeah.
the same.
Yeah, that's a big problem when it comes to like fixing stuff at home because like you're not sure if like whenever you come across a problem, like are you just dumb or is it just like they just legit just built this one toilet or this one thing different from everything else and you just want
Yeah.
why isn't
Well,
this
for
like
me, I think it's both.
standardized? Like you wonder like why isn't this like a standard? Why isn't everything just like the same? So it's like easy to like fix and fire replacements. and all
Different
that.
toilets, man. Like some people have some fragile ass toilets that you can just break off. But mine was a fucking
Some
10,
people
bro.
are like I
Mine was a
like
10.
some people are like we live in a capitalist society. I like to have my choice when it comes to things like when it comes to like these I'm like fuck choice. I rather the thing just work and fixed. And let me just like find a replacement part. It's like super easy. I don't want to go to like the minute details like oh this is like slightly different because
Hey,
the
if I want-
measurements
if
on
I-
this and this.
If I want to choose between a Gerber toilet and a KitchenAid toilet, then it's my goddamn American right to choose between the two. Okay. So what if one's harder to remove than the other? Okay, it's my choice.
That's stupid. That's stupid. I rather the thing just work. All right. At the end of the day, you're not worried about like, oh man, mine is like a slightly different toilet or like it unhooks a little bit differently from yours. I'm like, I just want the thing to flush when I hit the flush button, and I want water to spray up my ass when I hit spray water up my ass button. That's it. That's all I want. I
You
don't
say
care
that,
about
but
the
then one of these days it's gonna offer you. You're gonna offer you either a regular toilet or a toilet with a sink on top. All right, and you'd be like, "Fuck, man, I wish I had my choice to pick between the two." But then they're like, "Oh wait, you can't pick because you don't want choice," and they just take away the one with the sink, and then you're just left with the boring normal toilet. It's gonna happen to you one of these days.
To be fair though, as cool as that was while we were in Japan, it did feel like kind of a gimmick because like when I wash my hands, I like to like get thorough into it. I want to like spend time like rinsing my hands, but like the toilet sink is like lasts as long as the flush does, so it goes by really quick. So I still got soap in my hands, so I still have to go to like the normal sink anyway.
Yeah, I think that could have been solved if they just put like some place to put the soap dispenser nearby.
Yeah.
Apparently, those are going out of style.
Soap dispensers
No, the
or the sink thing?
The toilet
sink
sink.
on the toilet. Yeah.
Yeah, it was a neat idea. It's like I look at that. That's definitely a way to save water, but it's like it didn't last long enough for me to thoroughly wash my hands.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was cool though. Those in the audience who have never seen it, as you know,
I mean, there's some cool
wow.
ideas on how to save stuff. Like I heard a story where from a friend where he went to like an Upper California college, and then like a Northern California college, and then the school had an idea where I was like, hey, we sell a lot of coffee cups here. What if to save money for everybody, we make it so that when you buy coffee, you're only buying the liquid, but we don't give you a cup, and then so you can pay like $3 for a coffee, and you can pay an extra $1 to have a mason jar, so that you can reuse the mason jar every time you go to the coffee shop, and you don't need the waste paper cups anymore.
Nice.
And that's a cool idea. Except my friend, he would always forget his mason jar every time he comes back. So he would just come back down. He's like, "Fuck, forgot my mason jar," and he just buys a new mason jar, brings it back to his dorm.
So
Comes back. Yeah, over time he collected like 40 mason jars throughout the entire year because he kept forgetting to buy. He kept forgetting to bring the mason jar, even though
me actually.
that would be me too, honestly. Maybe not 40, but I would be forgetting the mason jar quite a bit.
Yeah.
And,
I mean,
yeah,
there's no convenient way to like carry around a mason jar, to be honest.
Nope.
Yeah, the mason jar does cost the coffee shop more because they're like, like they're giving you a coffee. I mean, you're still paying for it, but so they're not really losing money. But it's like they still have to order more every time. So if everyone forgets theirs all the time, they just end up ordering more mason jars than they thought they were going to.
Yeah.
But yeah, if like half the people remember bringing theirs, then it's a pretty cool idea and something we should probably look into doing more of.
Indeed. I mean, there's probably like alternatives, but yeah,
Yeah,
definitely be a neat way to like save stuff, recycle stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Be good to the environment and all that. Us hippies and all.
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, don't. I mean, when it comes to the environment, like don't fret if you can't be super environmentally conscious because there's only so much any of us can do. Like for example, for me, I still rely, because of where I live, I need to rely on driving to get to where I need to go for work or for school.
Yeah. Yeah.
The public transport isn't exactly the best in a lot of areas, especially where we live. So you do need to drive, and also like, yeah, you shouldn't feel like you need to bike to work, whatever the fuck, to do a better job at that because biking it is a hassle and does take you longer to get to work anyway. So just more convenient or another things like if you eat less meat, it is better for the environment. But then like if you do eat fucking a burger, every now and then, it's not the end of the world.
Jim and I are definitely guilty of that, even though we're like, we technically know better, but
No, yeah, we definitely know better.
Yeah.
I still eat meat like almost every day, if not every day.
yeah,
So
absolutely.
like I'm guilty of not being the best I could be, but in the grand scheme of things, there's a lot more we can do societally to fix the problem. But yeah, don't feel guilty if you do care about the environment or whatever. Fuck, if you can't do more, just live within your means and do the best you can without like severely downgrading your way of life, or whatever.
Amen to that. Amen to that. Wise words from a wise man.
All right. Speaking of wise men, Jim
Mhm.
says that it is over an hour of the podcast, so I guess we should wrap it up.
Yeah.
I think so too. I think that was a good place to end it right there. That's positive words.
All right. If you guys enjoyed today's episode, watch episodes 1 through 60, I believe, right? This is 61?
Yeah.
So episodes 1 through 60 already up on YouTube, but this one's coming up on YouTube soon. You can catch us live anytime, every Wednesday at 6:30 no, PST now, right? I think it's PST now.
Yeah, Pacific Standard.
So yeah, PST until the next daylight savings bullshit, okay? And then yeah, and then sometimes we're late, but we try to make it like consistent. And then if you're watching us on Twitch, there's the YouTube link in the description. All the links you need, no matter where you're watching this, is in the description or whatever the fuck in any platform that we're on. So yeah, that's where you can catch us. And other than that, always leave a comment. We enjoy reading those. We don't get too many, but whenever we do see them, it's pretty cool. We like reading them. And yeah, hope you guys catch us next time. And yeah, have a wonderful day. Peace.
Later.
Later.